Okay, for this installment of Let's Translate Physics, I'm looking at section 8.6 of Goldstein, Poole, and Sofko's Classical Mechanics 3rd edition. This is a section about deriving the Hamiltonian from the principle of least action. So action is something we don't really use that much in physics anymore, except as a derivation principle. So let's try this one out. Another variational principle associated with the Hamiltonian formulation is known as the principle of least action. That last part was in italics, but I don't think that'll translate. It involves a new type of variation, which we shall call the capital delta variation. The capital is important in just a moment. Requiring detailed explanation. Please, let's get into a detailed explanation. In the lowercase delta variation process used in the discussion of Hamilton's principle in chapter 2, the varied path in configuration space always terminated at endpoints, I wonder why that's not one word, representing the system configuration at the same time as the correct path. To obtain Lagrange's equations of motion, we also required that the varied path return to the same endpoints in configuration space, and then they give a mathematical statement of that. We don't need to put that in here. The capital delta variation is less constrained, semicolon. In general, the varied path over which an integral is evaluated may end at different times than the correct path, and there may be a variation in the coordinates at the endpoints. I would like to point out, anytime I'm writing the word coordinates professionally, I always misspell it as coordinates. This is the first time I think I've spelled it correctly, the first time in a long time, and it's on a silly video about running this through Google Translate. We can, however, use the same parameterization, 7 syllables, great Scrabble word if you have some help, of the varied, words with friends, or the varied path as in the lowercase delta variation. And the next part gets into some mathy stuff that I think we'll skip over. All right, let's see what happens to this paragraph here. All right, we'll copy and paste this for good measure. All right, let's see. What do I want to start with this time? Let's start with Myanmar. How about that? Oh, wow, that is pretty. That is really pretty script. All right, let's swap those. All right, let's see what happens here. Further laws of change associated with the Hamiltonian drawing are known as the principle of least action. It contains a new category and calls it a delta variation that needs to be explained in detail. In the delta process used in the in discussing the principle of Hamilton in Chapter 2, different paths in the configuration space end up at the right and at the same time at the endpoints representing the system configuration. To obtain Lagrange's equations, we need to return different paths to the endpoint in the configuration space. Delta low-cost change in general. Different routes can end up at different times in the right one. Finally, there may be variance on the coordinates. However, we can use the same parameterization of different paths as in the delta in the change. Okay, this is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. Let's put this through a few. Let's go Yiddish. All right, we'll put Yiddish over here. And we'll go through, let's say, French. Yes, all right, now we'll put French over there. Let's get something nowhere nearly related to French. Let's go with Lao. There we go. Etc, etc, etc. Hamiltonian, etc, etc, etc. Hamilton. Lagrange. Yeah, some of these are just going to be fixed, I think. Oops, let's put Lao over there. And I always got to put in Yoruba. It's such a fun sounding language. Let's flip those. And then we'll go to Galician. There we go. We'll put that over here. Let's see. How about Hawaiian? Hawaiian, yeah. Let's pop that over here. All right. I don't see. Okay, I see Hamilton. Do I see Lagrange? I see Lagrange. Okay, so they are trying to keep those names in place. That's good. I have never heard of the language Xhosa. I don't think. Have I? Have I? Where is Xhosa? Xhosa, excuse me, spoken. It is spoken. Oh, spoken in South Africa. Okay. It is a Bantu language spoken in South Africa, mainly in the Eastern Cape, Western Cape, Free State, and Northern Cape. Okay, well now I learned that. It is also in parts of Lesotho and Zimbabwe. Okay, very cool. I had not heard that. I don't think I'd heard the name of that language before. Maori? Put it over there. And let's get a couple more. Let's force it through German, just for fun. And then one more. How about Sudanese? All right, we're going to put Sudanese over here. And lastly, we will end in English. However, the Hamilton Amendment law is limited. And now we're in American constitutional history. However, the Hamiltonian Amendment law is limited. There are new and simple additions to the areas that need improvement. In the Delta system, which explains the Hamiltonian arrangement in Chapter 2, you will find various functions that connect the system to the right, as well as the exact range of products the system represents. Attitude. To find the Lagrangian work, you must return to the end of the set. Given the importance of managing small business systems for small businesses, different ways can be solved at different times than standard approaches. After all, plans can vary. However, we can use and combine different contexts in different forms. Aliena! What in the world is an aliena? Oh my gosh, what is an aliena? Aliena definition, please. If you're wondering about the name, aliena literally means off the line. The restaurant symbol, more commonly known as the pilcrow, indicates a new train of thought, or literally a new paragraph. Oh my gosh, how much does it cost to eat at Alinea? Alinea? Alinea. Oh, I was thinking I read it as aliena. Light, aliena, forgive me. Alinea may refer... Oh, Alinea, Wikipedia, here we go. Disambiguation page. May refer to Alinea, a restaurant in Chicago. It was awarded 3 stars from the Michelin Guide. Wow, that's great. Alinea, the character, from the Latin alinea, referring to, which indicates a new paragraph. Okay. Oh, pilcrow. Oh, that's what it's called. Is that what you call that? Is an alinea? Wow, I didn't know that. And then Alinea skink, a small genus of lizards. Which in the world is it referring to? Alright, so that last sentence was, we can, however, use the same parameterization of the varied path as in the delta variation. After all, plans can vary. However, we can use, and combine different contexts in different forms. New paragraph. Oh my gosh, this is great. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and remember the importance of managing small business systems for small businesses, and hope to see you next time, but after all, plans can vary.